supply chainers, wherever you are in the world. This is Sarah Barnes-Humphrey with you today. Are you ready? Let's talk supply chain. What's up, Grinches? Yes, I'm in the holiday spirit with my new holiday shirt. I saw this online and I thought that it was very appropriate. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thoughts and Coffee. My name is Sarah Barnes-Humphrey. I'm the founder and host of Let's Talk Supply Chain, as well as the Blended podcast and the founder of the Blended Pledge as well. And I'm super excited to be here with you. We have so much to talk about. I mean, I was just talking backstage about how it should be winding down right now, but there is just so much going on. And today, Audrey Ross is going to join me as my guest for the last time, I think. Or maybe not. Maybe we have one more. She's shaking her head in backstage. Anyways, I got to go and look at my calendar. I think we may have one more show in 2022 with Audrey. So, because we have so much going on, let's talk about what's happening with Let's Talk Supply Chain. So we have a brand new episode with Envase Technologies. That's right. I sat down with Alan from Envase, and they're friends of the show. I'm actually going to be working with them at one of their conferences in California in March 2023. But this episode really talks all about what they do. If you haven't heard of Envase Technologies, it's a great episode to just go and listen to their founder story, why they started the company, the future of drayage, and what they're doing in the industry to move it forward from a technology perspective. So definitely go and check that out. That's episode 311. Plus, I want to let you know over at letstalksupplychain.com, we have created a new podcast mini series page. That's right. So you know that we come out with these exclusive mini series every once in a while, and it's 4 episodes where we do a deep dive into a topic. And so now we've put them all in one place for you to go and check them out, hear more about those topics. And so go to letstalksupplychain.com and check it out. Plus, you guys, okay, so you need to keep a tab open today on the Let's Talk Supply Chain LinkedIn page, because this is one of 3 times that we are going live today. The second time is with Rob from Mercado at 12 p.m. Eastern. He's going live with First Things First, called When Supply Doesn't Equal Demand. That's going to be a really good one, so make sure to tune in at lunchtime. And then we go live with a brand new show from Overhaul. That's right. They're going to be talking about your post-holiday inventory and all sorts of incredible information, valuable information you're going to need for your supply chain throughout the holidays as well. And then tomorrow we go live with Emerge at 1 p.m. Eastern. Who's in the driver's seat with your supply chain? Now, this is going to be jam-packed full of information that you're going to need to drive your supply chain forward in 2023. So hopefully you can come and check that out and be with us, be part of that conversation. Would love to see you there. And then, of course, on Friday, we've got Eric Johnson going live with Log Tech Live. You don't always get the tech you want. Well, that's a fantastic title, and I can't wait to see what he talks about there. Couple of other things. So we've got our Let's Talk Supply Chain holiday party happening today, and we're doing a virtual murder mystery. And I just want to let you guys all in a little secret. My name for this particular party is going to be Detective Plucky Pigeon. I don't know how they picked that for me, but anyways, we're going to see how that goes, but we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. And then the other amazing news is that Superstar Game Face has been recorded, and we are going to bring it to you live on December 22nd at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I can't wait for you guys to see it, man. The laughs that we had during that episode, I think Audrey can definitely back me up on that one as well. And then one final thing before we bring Audrey up, remember, if you've got a supply chain chainer in your life, we have a lot of really great supply chain merch over on letstalksupplychain.com under shop. And I think AJ is going to put the link in there for you. So go and check that out. What else? I think that's it. I think it's time to bring up Miss Ross. Hello, Audrey. How you doing today?
Hello. I'm good. I'm here in Ottawa.
I know, and it's 6 degrees colder.
Yeah, I think it's -10 here right now.
Ooh, okay,
You know.
that's Celsius for anybody that's in Fahrenheit. So
Right,
don't go and
right.
like freak out too
No,
much.
no. It's like 26 Fahrenheit, something.
Yeah,
Cold.
it's very, very, very cold. All right, so for anybody who doesn't know who you are, tell them who you are.
Sure. I'm currently my role is import and export specialist at Orchard Custom Beauty, which specializes in beauty tools, cosmetics, and bath accessories. I'm also a member of the Blended Pledge. I'm here in Ottawa to support my organization of Women in International Trade Group, OIT. So yeah, I keep busy.
Awesome. I just realized that my coffee mug
Like,
for Thoughts and Coffee actually matches my shirt.
yeah.
Can you tell I kind of like green?
A little bit.
And I got some sparklies going on today. I don't know. I'm
There's some
like
sequins
all in
going
the
on.
holiday spirit today. Anyways, so one of the things that I want to talk to you about before we get to the poll is that we have a giveaway for the Blended Pledge.
Yes.
So
Yes, we do.
JOC, the Journal of Commerce, they put on TPM every single, like it's the end of February, beginning of March, Trans-Pacific Maritime Conference. We're both going to be there, I believe. And they've given us 2 free registration passes to the show, which is huge because it's a really, really big event that you want to attend. They're also supporting diverse voices and making sure that we have more diversity within that conference. And yeah, I mean, it's just a really, really great conference, especially if you're in supply chain and logistics. So I wanted to let everybody know that we are giving away these registration passes. Now, here's what you have to do. So if you go to the Blended Pledge page on LinkedIn, you can enter using this link, and it's actually to subscribe to our newsletter. You need to react to this post or the post on Blended Pledge. You want to tag someone who might want to win as well. And you want to give us your best pitch as to why you should win. So why is this so important? I mean, I'm so excited that we have these to give away.
Yeah, I think it's a good next step for TPM. We've been working on the diversity committee. They've got a DEI honors award that's been presented. The inaugural one was last conference, and I think it just shows the commitment that they're making to making the conference just a bit more accessible. For a lot of us, your work, or there's a lot of senior executives who go, so their companies are definitely paying for them to be there. It's a very highly valued experience. But then, who are we leaving out? Who needs to be at this sort of level of event? So I'm very excited, and I can't wait to see all the applications come in.
Yeah, me too. I think the other thing that I really want to mention briefly as well is that in lieu of holiday cards and gratitude cards this month, I am going to be donating to the Blended Pledge. We are, $10,000 into our $25,000 goal. And honestly, every little bit helps. We're just about to give away, I think, our 3rd grant, which is amazing, sending more diverse voices to speak on industry stages. And so if you're looking for something to do in lieu of holiday cards or just feel generous, I just wanted to bring up the Blended Pledge as a really good option.
Yeah, and for anyone who's has something on the agenda for next year, or they have their eye on something, it's a micro grant program. So it's can help with things like accommodation. It can help with things like your flights. It's just sort of contributes to being able to support you in getting to this event. When you've gotten the personal branding, the skill, the talent to get the opportunity, and then it's just where the Blended Pledge is there to support you actually realizing that. So
yeah, and I don't think most people realize how many small businesses this is really going to impact, because to be able to get onto an industry stage is really important for underrepresented small businesses to be able to showcase what they're doing in the industry and for them to be able to get new business, etc. So it can really just lend itself to the impact that's going to last for a very, very long time. All right. Well, now it's time for us to get to our poll of the week. And so last week we asked you, what is the most important leadership skill to lead in today's environment? Well, 36% of you said communication, 30% of you said empathy, 20% of you said listening, and 14% of you said growth mindset. And that's over 848 votes. And I think, so I have recorded 3 blended episodes in the last, I think, 5 days. Each episode is about an hour and a half. And one of the things that we really talked about for February's episode around fostering inclusive workplaces was the communication, right? The assumptions, get the assumptions out of the way, get the bias out of the way, and really focus and get back to what communication means and how we can really lead with communication. So I was very happy to see that 36%, the majority of people, I guess, said communication is key. What do you think?
So I selected communication as well when I voted. I would say, I mean, controversially, I would suggest that listening is part of communication.
Yeah, it's true.
So if you're communicating effectively, it means in order for you to be able to do that, it means that you have to have been listening. Yeah. And then more controversial than that, I would suggest that empathy it's important, but I don't think it's more important than communication. I think if you're communicating and listening well, I think some people have a sort of, more intuitive or empathetic track than maybe others. So I think if you're doing communication and listening well, then I think the empathy sort of falls into that. So that's sort of where I would put my focus.
I love that. And Robert said I would go with all of them. Without the ability to do all of them in harmony, true leadership is not possible. And then Allison was really interested in the range of responses. And when we asked her what her choice would be, she said self-awareness, which probably should have been one of those options up on that poll. I want to say a quick hello to Philip, Anil, and Imran over on my personal LinkedIn page. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are on the Let's Talk Supply Chain LinkedIn page, we want to hear from you. Put it in the comments. Where are you watching from? Ask us any questions because we're going to put it up on the screen and we want everybody to know that you're watching.
Always fun to see. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, Sarah's at home and I'm in Ottawa, and okay, where are you?
Yeah, we want to know where everybody's tuning in from. All right. Do you want to give us a bit of a market update, sort of what's happening from your perspective in the supply chain that you manage, the logistics? Is there anything, really important that people need to know? I mean, we're going to be talking about shipping deadlines a little bit later on in the show. But from your perspective, what's going on? What's working? What's not working?
For sure. It's, nice to say that it's easing up a little bit on the Canadian inbound, only because I think most of us shipped everything in July, so then now it's all trickled through and no one's brought anything else in. My greatest fear is coming to be realized that we are moving into blank sailings. So I've got some bookings that had, it'll go on December 10th, it'll go on December 15th, and then it's like, oh, there's no sailing that week, so it's going to go, and you're like, no, because those can be hard to predict. I'm hoping that we can support the carriers in moving goods when they have the volume to move them, but also that they can be a bit consistent about it. Like if it's every 2 weeks we send a vessel, fine. If it's once a week we send it, it'd just be nice to have the consistency. That's what we're looking for. Going into Australia as a surprise, if any of you are in Australia, it's a bit of a hot mess. Getting a truck, offloading in a warehouse. Warehouses are full. Our customer warehouses are full, which means the trucks are backed up, which means the distribution warehouses are full. Getting stuff from the airlines, not fun. So maybe if you can put a little pause on that.
Pause on that until, maybe February.
Yeah, it has not been enjoyable. If you just like to do the same thing every day and ask the same question, might be for you. But I would skip it.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, it's always really good to hear from your perspective because you're in it every single day about what's happening, what's working, what's not working, what should you avoid. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And
Yeah.
we want to say hi to Dee. Thank you, Dee, for joining us from Atlanta. All right, it's now time for our first article. So this article, I don't know if you guys saw this. I feel like it kind of went under the radar. November 29th. Amazon
Yeah.
introduces AWS supply chain to help bring order to supply chain chaos. So, what this means is Amazon is actually getting into the technology and visibility game within supply chain. Does that make people nervous? I'm not sure. Does it make the competition nervous? I'm not sure. They have a lot of money, they have a lot of backing, they have a lot of customers. And for them to get into the supply chain technology business, but they're also saying much of the same things. After reading this
Yes.
article, they use words like improves visibility, actionable insights, mitigate risk, lowering costs, connecting data. I mean, as somebody who talks to a lot of the brands within supply chain on a regular basis, especially the technology providers, they're all using the same terminology. And so it's interesting to me that Amazon is introducing this into the supply chain, being part of the supply chain ecosystem from a technology and visibility perspective, but using the same words. So, what did you think about this when you saw it, Audrey?
I kind of thought the same thing. I was like, oh, we've kind of seen this before, but now it's with Amazon. And I feel like if you're already an Amazon vendor or an Amazon shipper, you're probably accessing a lot of this already. Like it's probably been something that their vendors and internally have been using.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I didn't see a market difference. Like I don't know what would compel me to like call them up and be like, oh yes, this is the one. This is the visibility tool. This is the risk management tool that's going to save, my products. I don't know.
So this is one of the screenshots that they decided to put in this press release.
Yeah.
And basically it's a map showing you exactly where your shipments are
Oh, okay.
in perspective to that visibility option. So I would be interested if anybody, excuse me, has actually looked at this particular product. And I'd be interested to hear what your thoughts are on how this compares to what else is already
Yeah.
currently in the market.
Like, and it's not to say Amazon doesn't have a huge, sort of grasp of technology or the money, at least to really
Mhm.
dive into this. But it's interesting on the heels of the sort of that blockchain program was TradeLens
Yes,
being being sort of no, we're sort of
we're
closing
moving
that,
away from
and this
that.
comes out, and you're like, what's the I don't know. There's a lot that goes on in this marketplace, and thank goodness for experts like Eric and you know,
Yeah, to break it down and
you know,
for
and all these people who can kind of break it down for you because you're like, it's a lot.
well, and I think I would hope that our podcast helps with it too, the Let's Talk Supply Chain
Definitely,
podcast, because when we
definitely,
have those brands on the show, we're very intentional about who is your ideal client,
yeah,
how do you actually
yeah,
help? Because I
yeah,
think it's really important that when you're going to look at a partner on how they can actually help your business, because supply chain really is responsible for that gross profit margin.
yeah,
You don't want to make any mistakes with that partner, that vendor, that platform, that kind of thing. And so you really need to
yeah.
know what you're getting into before you even get into their sales funnel.
Yeah. And
Um,
I think the podcast is less like pitchy, right? When you're on with a person, you're more being pitched at, or you're
yeah,
being, like you're getting a demo, and there's sort of a routine to that. Whereas, yeah, the podcast can be a bit more not quite casual, but like it's a little more informative.
conversational.
It's
Yeah.
conversational. It's yeah.
So Nick, thank you so much for your presence. Since the World Cup is not on tonight, he is
Yeah.
here for Thoughts and Coffee, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
LinkedIn user, I'm sorry, but I don't know who you are, but Amazon competitors should definitely be concerned in monitoring their
Right.
progress, innovations. Very, very, very true. And I want to give a shout out because we've got Bill, we've got Peter. Also joining me over on my personal LinkedIn page as well. So Bayram says, is this CRM 2.0? And I think really the jury is out at this point because I haven't seen it, and I haven't heard from anybody who has seen it, and just wondering how they actually compare to what else is out there. And so hopefully somebody can give us some of that insight fairly soon. So our next article is about copper. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been hearing about this copper shortage for quite a while. And I was I was reading this article this morning, and they talk about pennies, and all I could think about was how Canada has gotten
You don't
rid of
have that.
pennies
Yeah.
like years and years ago. And if we have a copper shortage, and they're made of copper, I think, right? Pennies are made of copper. Why are we not just reducing the amount of pennies, because our pockets would thank us, reducing the amount of pennies that we're actually using within, retail, and get rid of them like Canada did, and take that copper, put it back in the market? I don't know.
I mean, one, it's disconcerting when you visit the U.S. and you're handed pennies, like it is those things again. Okay. Because we sort of have, if people don't know, the coins between Canada and the U.S. are very similar in size and color, just different pictures on them. But I'm not even sure technically if the American penny's still made fully of copper, or if it's only a little bit of copper, because of course, the mints go through and kind of change up the value, I think, because copper got really valuable. Like I haven't heard so much of a shortage, but I know a couple of years ago, I was hearing about people stealing it. So they were going onto job sites and stealing like the copper, the wire threads, the big thread bolts of it, and stealing it. So I don't know. I mean, it's highly valuable for sure.
Absolutely. And I think I was talking to a plumber during the pandemic, I think.
Yeah.
When he was talking about, a shortage of copper, and how he needed it. Now, copper is used in pipes, computers, phones, electric vehicles, solar, and wind power.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Oh, somebody looked it up.
Yeah.
New pennies are only 2.5% copper. I still think if you get rid of pennies, and thank you for that, I still think if you get rid of the pennies and you put them back into circulation with the copper, I mean, it might help with some of this shortage. But thinking about what copper is used for, you think about computers, phones, electric vehicles. We're also thinking about the microchips and how those are in demand as well. And so those industries are just sort of getting pummeled. But what they also talked about in this article is that 43 million tons of copper actually goes unprocessed every single year. And there's a technology company out there, and I don't know how technology has anything to do with this because I did not look up the company, but apparently they are looking to put 8 million tons, I think it is, back into the copper market a year by 2040, which I don't think is quick enough, but I guess time will tell, and we will see, and maybe they'll have to look at alternative options. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it's like most things we see that, we waste it. We dump it in landfills instead of reprocessing, so instead of taking those computers and disassembling them and reusing any of the sort of insides, that's still very limited. So I think for all of us as a sustainability goal, there might be a gap in the market, and you can go and compete with with that company to kind of get that copper back in play.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, also, I was having a problem with my HP printer that I've had for quite a while last night. And I was actually thinking the same thing because I couldn't call anybody to find out how to fix it because it was out of warranty. And I was like, if I can't fix this myself, what do I do with this printer? And I know HP because of Frances Edmonds. They have a very big sustainability program. And so I would have to reach out to her or sort of figure out what to do with my printer. But I was like, I really want to fix this. Like, I really like this printer, but there was no one for me to talk to really troubleshoot.
To do repair,
which I thought was a little bit, unfortunate because I really didn't want to buy a new printer. So anyways, just along those lines, mention that. All right, now our next article is about holiday shipping deadlines. And I thought this article was important because we are December 13th. all of these deadlines are coming up. And if you actually don't know what these deadlines are per carrier for shipping your products, or for even buying your holiday items so that they can get to you on time, I thought this was really important. One of the things that they mentioned in this article is Hanukkah is from the 18th to the 26th, and
Yep.
Kwanzaa, which I wasn't. Do you know what Kwanzaa is?
Yeah.
What is Kwanzaa?
I'm blanking.
Okay. Anyways,
It's a similar gifting holiday.
Got it. And that one's running from the 25th to the 1st. And so a lot of the cutoffs and the deadlines, I think, are a little bit earlier right now, just because those holidays, I think, are falling in a little bit earlier as well. So just so you know, FedEx shipping deadlines for December 25th. So ground, you need to ship by tomorrow. The Express Saver ship by December 20th. 2-day, December 21st, and overnight and priority is December 22nd. And a lot of this is because December 25th actually falls on a Sunday, which, if you're not really thinking about it, actually does mean that these shipping deadlines have to be moved up. So
Yeah.
UPS shipping deadlines, they are, December 20th, December 21st, December 22nd. What is that?
Kwanzaa.
There we go.
Yeah,
Kwanzaa.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure it's African American celebration, and it's based on traditional harvest from parts of West and Southeast Africa.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for that, AJ, by the way. Thank you for looking that up so we know. USPS, December 17th, December 19th, December 23rd, and Amazon. For all of you Amazon shoppers, the free shipping deadline is December 15th. Anything after Thursday, you're going to have to pay for.
I would be surprised how many people, based on the last 2 years of shipping, left it to this point, but I mean, I do, but I go to the store, so
You're one of those.
I'm like December 24th is a nice day at the mall because it's people who are very fast and very direct.
That is so funny. So those are all your shipping deadlines. We've put that article in the comments so that you can go and check that out and make sure that you are on time with your deliveries. Bayram, does your scheduled an episode for supply chain trends in 2023? We're actually talking about this across all of our content right now. So the Emerge LinkedIn Live that we're doing tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern is going to touch on some of this. The LinkedIn Lives that we have going on at 12 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern are going to be talking about that today as well. So we've got a lot of content that's coming out around supply chain trends. So definitely stay on the Let's Talk Supply Chain LinkedIn page for that. And check it out. One of the other things I forgot to mention at the top of the show is that my monthly hustle newsletter, which is my LinkedIn newsletter, just came out yesterday, saying no to the holiday hustle. And my team decided to put a Santa hat on my head, which I thought was kind of nice. But go and check that out because we talk all about the holiday hustle, some self-care tips, what you need to know, some things that you might want to think about. So go and check that out as well. And then, of course, we've got upcoming events. So we've got January 30th to February 1st. I'm going to be on site at Manifest. We are going to be recording podcasts on site. I'm also going to be recording some fun videos for the team over at Manifest as well. And we've got TPM 23. There's TPM Tech that's coming up before that, February 23rd and 24th, and then TPM from February 26th to March 1st. I'm also going to be recording on site for them as well. And of course, we've got the free registration option. So go to the Blended Pledge page on LinkedIn and go and like that particular post and sign up for our newsletter so that you can get a free registration. This is our brand new show, The Intelligence Perspective. This is with Overhaul, and that's happening at 1 p.m. today, and you're not going to want to miss that one for sure. First Things First is happening today too at 12 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, we've got the Emerge, Who's in the Driver's Seat with Your Supply Chain, LinkedIn Live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be hosting it with Dave Maddox, and we've got a lot of great things that we're going to be talking about. Any final words for the audience today, Audrey?
No, just everyone hang in there until the end of the year. And I think we're all looking forward to maybe a shifted, different 2023 in supply chain.
That's right. And I think you and I have one more show before the end of 2022.
Yeah,
So I think that is right after Christmas, right? So that'll
maybe
be
I
the
think the
27th.
27th.
Yeah, awesome. So I'll be back next week with Overhaul to talk about their brand new show and what they talked about on today's episode. And then on the 27th, after the holidays, Audrey and I will be back on Thoughts and Coffee. So we hope you all have an amazing week ahead. We are going to have some fun at the Let's Talk Supply Chain holiday party a little bit later on today. And we appreciate you all for joining us. We're going to go live on the Let's Talk Supply Chain Instagram right now. So if you want to, you can head over there and hear some more. Bye, everybody.